Hey guys, welcome back. This is the same episode, maybe. I don't know if the trial is about to start, so let's just get into this. I will upload this as soon as I have the other episode, if this is not in the same episode as before. So, without further ado, let's just talk to Lord von Zieks. 1st November, local prison cell 1. Lord von Zieks is still reading that letter. We've been gone quite some time, though. Either he's an incredibly slow reader, or it's an incredibly long letter. I might even be able to read English faster than he can.
I was intending to ignore you entirely, but I can't turn a deaf ear to such an insulting Nipponese.
Oh, sorry. I didn't think you'd hear that.
I had the case notes brought to me in secret. I was reading them to pass the time.
Yes, we heard that your trial is set for tomorrow.
Which is none of your business.
So, have you found a lawyer?
How many times must I reiterate the same thing? This has nothing to do with you.
In other words, no. We were just talking to Lord Strongheart, and the prosecutor for your trial has been decided.
I'd expected nothing less, though I have no idea who it is.
It's going to be Kazuma Asogi. Asogi. That made the color drain from his face.
Well then. It seems I'm going to have to engage in conversation with you again after all.
Well, we are going to converse for sure. Let's talk about Asogi.
10 years ago, my older brother, who was the director of prosecutions at the time, was murdered. And the killer, as you know, was a visiting student from the Far East. Not a single day goes by when I don't curse the name Asogi.
Genshin Asogi was Kazuma-sama's father.
So what cruel twist of fate is it is now, 10 years later? The man's son is to crucify me in some kangaroo court.
I still don't understand why Lord Strongheart apprenticed Kazuma to you.
It's what he does. No doubt he knew of the young man's true identity from the outset.
But what could he have been hoping to achieve? And let's not forget that it was only 8 days ago that Kazuma recovered from his amnesia. Why would Lord Strongheart assign this trial to somebody like that?
Asogi. That name is the very epitome of my bane. The bane that is you, Nipponese.
Right. Your hatred of all us Japanese. The Nipponese Bane.
I'd only just been appointed as a prosecutor when it happened 10 years ago. My brother Clint, the director of prosecutions, was hunting down a mass murderer.
The so-called professor.
Assigned to the investigation as his partner was a certain visiting student dispatched from Scotland Yard.
And that was Genshin Asogi?
Exactly. I developed a deep respect for the man. He seemed noble-minded and chivalrous in the extreme to me. But none of us saw the true nature of the man. So I lost everything when it happened. My esteemed brother, the people I believed in, and any semblance of right prevailing over wrong.
Oh, how awful!
To avenge my brother, I prosecuted in Asogi's trial. It wouldn't ordinarily have been allowed, but I beleaguered the scribe to prosecute until consented.
What do you mean by the ascribed prosecutor?
the man in charge of the Professor case and inquiry, Lord Mael Strongheart.
Wait, what? Lord Strongheart?
He was a highly accomplished prosecutor, but he agreed to relinquish the trial to me and act as my advisor instead. Since that time, he's the one person to whom I felt indebted.
I'm sure he must have seen your zeal for the case and recognized your potential as a prosecutor.
Anyway, time passed, but then earlier this year, who should arrive in London but you?
Ah,
And of all things, as a lawyer.
I felt your animosity the first time I ever faced you in the courtroom. Your obvious deep loathing of us Japanese.
I kept telling myself it was illogical. But for so many years, that hatred had festered inside me. I could no longer control it.
And I can understand why, now I know the history.
But in the same way that I've long felt the Nipponese to be the bane of my life, to Kazuma Asugi, I am the bane of his, the reaper who sent his father to the gallows. He is looking for revenge, and he intends to take it in court tomorrow.
Let's talk about Inspector Gregson.
Gregson's transfer to the Paris Police Prefecture had finally been arranged for the coming month. But he'll never make it to France now. It's a tragedy.
Oh yes, come to think of it, he did mention something about that, didn't he? I wonder, does it happen often? Being transferred internationally, I mean.
It's the first time I've ever encountered it.
Ah!
The Paris police welcome an English detective is almost inconceivable. I can't imagine what kind of magic Gregson must have worked out to put that arrangement in place.
It sounds like the mystery has even the Reaper perplexed. I'm afraid to say that we were very ignorant about Inspector Gregson's standing. We hear that he was considered something of a legend at Scotland Yard.
Again, it was 10 years ago that he first made a name for himself by uncovering a decisive piece of evidence that exposed the professor's identity. If it wasn't for Gregson's singular approach to the case, the discovery would never have been made.
What sort of approach?
After my brother's life was taken, the inspector pushed for a full autopsy.
Oh my, 10 years ago? Why is that so surprising?
Autopsy was considered a desecration of the body at the time, and rarely performed. And my brother was of course a noble, that made the idea of it even more unthinkable. But something Gregson had dug up in his investigations made him determined it was necessary. His powerful conviction somehow influenced the House of Lords, and as a result, I could avenge my brother's death.
So, you must have great confidence in the inspector's abilities then. And it's even more inconceivable that you would have taken his life.
I don't have confidence in anyone.
Oh,
And I'm sure Gregson felt the same way. I have no doubt he thought of me only as the ominous Reaper, just like the rest of London.
what really went on between Lord von Zieks and Gregson? I wonder. What was the true nature of their relationship? Oh, what a strange... I can't really... Whatever. About the gun used to shoot the inspector that was found at the scene.
Ah, yes, that's not mine.
Really? Because common opinion seems to be that it is.
What do you expect me to say to that?
Lord Strongheart informed us that You claim to having misplaced your firearm.
As embarrassing as that is, I'm afraid it's true.
When did you lose it then?
That, I don't know.
Oh,
I was issued with a revolver when I first became a prosecutor 10 years ago. I must have stowed it somewhere, I suppose, or left it somewhere, perhaps.
you have something in common with Lord Van Zieks after all, Mr. Naruto. A talent for misplacing things. No. This has nothing to do with me. Don't drag me into it.
Don't make the mistake of associating me with this Nipponese.
Oh dear, the rift is very wide, isn't it? So it's not decisive evidence, clearly. But it doesn't look good, that's for sure. Alright, so we are supposed to present some stuff here. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna present a lot of stuff because this is a new episode after all. I think you know this that this is worn by my people in my country to show that they're defense lawyers, don't you?
And I think you know that I believed you to be merely playing out lawyercraft initially. But it would seem your armament may actually imply some dormant talent after all.
Lord Van Zieks, do you mean?
Let's hope you wake up soon.
Yes, I was clearly daydreaming. I almost thought I got a compliment there.
It's not for me.
Oh, that's not why I was showing it you. Sorry.
I suppose. If it was a black-hatted league, you would have no hesitation.
None whatsoever.
Sadly, my own hair could no more be described as black as it could red. What colored league should I then join?
People are troubled by the most unexpected problems at times. Do you have something to say about Mr. Weigel?
What's that?
It's just something I was hoping to ask your opinion about, that's all.
It's a serious crime for the defense to attempt to extract information from the prosecution by illegal means.
Alright, I get the message, but I don't see what's illegal about me asking... About me asking. Sorry. Okay, what about this? So we can skip that. We're gonna skip that then. Do you have anything to say about the dismissal note? No, you don't. What about the photograph here? Nothing about this either. And the candelabrum? No, you don't remember what happened, so... Maybe you know what this is? No, you don't? What about the red hairpiece? Nothing about that either? So maybe you can tell us something about the revolver? No, you can't? Alright. So let's show him the photograph. Lord Van Zieks, who came by this old photograph.
Where did you get that? It was taken when I became a qualified prosecutor. It's almost unbelievable. I assumed it was long lost.
Is the man on the left there?
Yes, that's my brother, Clint.
The details of Gregson's photograph have been updated in the court record. The person on the left is Lord Clint Van Zieks. It had to be, really. Apparently this picture was prominently displayed in Gregson's office. He had a deep respect for you, you know. Were you aware of that?
Respect? That's nonsense.
No, we've heard someone attest to it very clearly. Inspector Gene Lestrade, no less.
Well, maybe once, yes. There was a time things were like that. We were brothers in arms, jovially discussing the future of justice and other such lofty subject matter. That was a nice glimpse of the past. I thank you.
I feel as though I got a nice glimpse of the past then too. There was a glimmer of light in his eyes, a brief twinkle, and insight to the true nature of this man known to all as the stone-cold Reaper of the Bailey.
Mr. Naruhodo.
Oh, that's the first time he's ever used my actual name.
I've lost all confidence in my country's justice system. I don't trust the police, the judiciary, or lawyers. But there's still one thing I'm willing to believe in.
What's that?
That which you see in the eyes of another across the courtroom is simple determination to know the truth.
Lord von Zieks?
From the very first time we clashed in the Bailey almost a year ago now, I couldn't deny it, even though I dearly wished I could. Here is a loathsome Nipponese who has absolute integrity as a lawyer. There are only two other men I've known with that same look in their eyes. My brother, Clint, and Genshin Arsugi.
The man he idolized and the man he betrayed, who betrayed his trust in the most hideous way.
When you showed me that photograph just now, it reminded me.
You mean this photograph?
Back then I was able to laugh. I was free of the shackles of mistrust that plague me now. I look to the future with hope. Since then, I've protected myself against betrayal by the refusing to trust anyone. But at times, the mire into which I've sunk makes it almost impossible to breathe.
I'm so sorry.
So, Mr. Naruhodo, I want to believe in that look in your eyes. I need to believe in it. In tomorrow's trial, will you advocate for me?
Of course I will. It would be an honor. Oh, I've got chills, I got goosebumps, guys. Okay, sorry for... Oh, this is so incredible. Oh, okay. I'm so pleased, Mr. Naruhodo.
Then my life is in your hands.
For Lord von Zieks, that must have been an incredibly hard thing to ask. Which is why I simply cannot let the man down. Tomorrow, in the Old Bailey, against my old friend Kazuma. Wow. Okay, this is going to be one show of a trial, guys. I have to say, this has been by far the most captivating investigation so far. I mean, of course, because of all the intricacies and implications, but I really have to say, I really want to know how things are going to unfold. If you are thinking the same thing as I am, you'll have to tune in next time for the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. Resolve. See you then.